Welcome to the Works of Wonder podcast. This podcast was inspired by the powerful message of Beyond Words, the Art of Effectively Communicating with Your Children, written by Dr. Beth Long. Beth is a licensed professional counselor, a board-certified behavior analyst, and the founder of Works of Wonder Therapy here in Montgomery, Alabama. Each week, we'll talk through real stories, practical tools, and faith-rooted insights that help parents lead with grace rather than fear. We hope you enjoy it. Today, we are talking about, another great one. All of our topics are great. But this one, the tagline for it, is your parenting actually working?
Ooh, okay.
That's heavy. Moving towards an effective approach, right? Because none of our parenting is working perfectly, but we can always move towards a more effective approach. In Beyond Words, you invite parents to honestly examine their parenting style, not based on trends or labels, but on outcomes. Why do you think so many parents struggle to evaluate whether their approach is actually effective?
I think it's all the noise. There's just too much noise, right? So this expert says this, and this expert says this, and you're trying to balance all the things, and you're missing the target.
Yes.
So what is your goal, and what are you doing to meet that goal?
It's so loud.
It is so loud.
It's just so loud. There's so many opinions. Everyone has a platform.
Yes.
Everyone has an opinion,
Yes.
right? You describe how many parents define their parenting style using social media language. Why can that be misleading or even harmful?
I think because social media is a glimpse. So, right, like when I make a video, I'm giving you a glimpse of an idea. So if I use the word gentle parenting, which the actual concept of gentle parenting is not horrible, but a lot of people misunderstand it.
Yes.
And it actually becomes permissive parenting.
When you say the phrase social media language, can you tell me what that looks like? What phrases? Gentle parenting. What are some other ones?
Would be one. Emotional regulation would be one. Talking through things is another great big one. Or waiting, giving your child space is a huge one, right?
Yeah.
When you apply these huge generalized concepts to the wrong stage, the wrong age, the wrong situation, you're making some really unwise choices.
I feel like triggered is another one.
Yes, triggered is a huge one.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Before parents can change their approach, what questions should they be asking themselves about how their children are actually functioning?
Okay. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to try my best to explain it.
Okay.
Does your child do what they are asked to do?
Simple question.
Very simple question. Now, can I take that and twist it and turn it into a little bit abusive? 100%. So let me try to clarify. If you give your child a command, do they follow through?
Okay.
Several things the parents have to ask themselves if they're being effective. Am I wording this in a way that is understandable? Does my child have the language skills to understand what I am saying? Am I setting them up for failure, or am I setting them up for success? And am I being a good parent and making sure it happens?
Okay. And when you say setting them up for success or failure, you don't mean like life success failure.
Right. I mean, in that moment. Right? Like, I cannot tell you easily 100 in the last 6 months. Parents of maybe a 7 or 8 year old will come in and say, I tell them to clean their room and they just don't. Okay. Whoa. A 7 or 8 year old cannot clean their entire room.
No.
They can't. Right? So am I doing my job as a parent to say, please go pick up all the stuffed animals? Following through, making sure it happened, right? Are you realistically setting your child up for success? And I don't know if we stopped doing human growth and development in high school. I don't know what it is, but a lot of parents do not understand what an 8-year-old is supposed to be doing, what a 2-year-old is supposed to be doing, what a 16-year-old is supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I think that's where social media gets super dangerous too, because
yes,
we're not going to parent a 16-year-old and a 2-year-old the same way.
No.
So,
well, and you see that clip of them having the chore chart, and then the kids' room is completely clean, and you don't see the in between.
Right.
You don't see that. And something that with my kids, we do the step by step. And then as they progress, it's like, hey, go look in your room and tell me the 5 things that need to be cleaned up. So you can teach them in progression to go pick up the stuffed animals, but then in a few weeks, go tell me what needs to be cleaned up. And then we can decide together on what one you do first.
Right.
You know,
Yes,
we need to do
yes.
cars, blankets, clothes, all the things. Okay, do your cars first. It's a progression, but they don't know how to do it right away.
No, because we have to teach it. So, so that is number one. And that as a parent, you need to be really thinking through that.
Yes.
Is my child doing what they're told? Because they cannot be a successful student. They cannot be a successful adult. They cannot be a successful human.
Yeah.
If they do not know how to live in a world where somebody asks them to do something and they do it.
Right.
So that one's super important. The second one that's super important is, does your child ask permission?
I love this. You talk about, and this is my favorite thing I've ever heard you say. I think.
And I think
lay it out.
Every teacher is like, amen. But we are raising, and I think we've missed a generation of children, unfortunately, but we are raising children who are entitled, not independent. But the kind of lies or the fallacies that people aren't fully understanding from social media is, just because your child goes and gets their own drink doesn't necessarily mean that they're this amazing independent kid, right? Are they entitled or are they independent? Independent children communicate, ask, wait for the answer, and then go and do it for themselves, right? That's independent. But we don't live in a vacuum. We have to raise children who live in a situation where they know how to communicate effectively with others. They can't. So I always tell parents, if your child worked at Publix, they would have to go ask their boss before they moved something, or they would lose their job.
Yes.
In the same way, they need to be asking you, is it okay if I do X, Y, Z? And teaching them to communicate that early on is vital. And so many parents of young children are going, oh, look at them. They're so independent. That's not the stage for them to be independent.
Yes. Well, the independence is, oh, I'm thirsty. That means I should probably have some water. I'm going to go ask for some water. It's not you giving your kid water so they never understand that they're thirsty and then they ask for water.
Right.
Or that they can go get it themselves. The independence is understanding your body and understanding the chain of command and understanding what you need.
Yes. And I got in huge trouble in school. So my dad was in the military. We moved all the time. The biggest trouble I ever got in school, we moved the summer between my 3rd and 4th grade year. At my prior school, after we finished lunch, we took our trays to the counter. Okay. I did that the first day at my new school, and the teacher kind of lost her mind on me a little bit. Now, some of that's on the teacher, but most children get in trouble in school because they don't ask first. So if you want to set your child up to succeed, teach them that skill.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I get out of my seat? Is it okay if I communicate? Is it okay if I,
So going into the 4 primary parenting styles, it's authoritarian, uninvolved, permissive, and authoritative. Is that what
Yes.
That's what you say. Why is it important for parents to understand the differences between these styles? And can you speak just like briefly what each style is?
Okay. So in the book, it's kind of laid out this way. It's like what you are attempting to control versus how much support you're giving, right?
Okay.
So in authoritarian parenting, it's a lot of control without support.
Okay.
In permissive parenting, it's no control, lots of support.
Okay. And when you say support and control?
So control would be, I want you to do what I'm asking you to do, but I'm not going to do it with you. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to follow up or...
That's the support. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So permissive would be their cup's empty. This is kind of an exaggerated example, but their cup's empty. Oh, here, let me go get you a drink. Right. That we're bypassing all of the lessons that can be learned in everyday life. Okay. And then uninvolved parents, those are the ones who heartbreakingly, I see this way more than any other parenting style lately. And that is just the kids who kind of live their life on their iPads or, I mean, the parents who just kind of meet the basic needs and that's it. So there's no support, there's no control.
Do you feel like that can almost be sometimes put under the umbrella an illusion of gentle parenting?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I think it's very, very much because you kind of go like, oh, I'm being a good parent because my child's chill or my child's calm or my child's happy. Well, we're all happy if you let us do whatever we want to do all day long, right? So they can feel good about it because they have a pretty calm, well-regulated child, but they don't have a child who's ready for the world. Yeah. And then authoritative parenting, those are the parents who have high control, high support.
Okay.
So they're intentionally teaching, they're intentionally working with their kids, they're intentionally spending time with their kids, but they're supporting them to be successful. So they're placing demands, but then they're encouraging and following through to make sure they met the demands. They're expecting them to communicate, but they're also spending the time teaching them how to communicate.
What are some subtle signs that a parent may be operating from the authoritarian approach, even if they don't see themselves that way?
I think when all of us get a little nervous about our children's behavior, we're going to operate from an authoritarian approach. So that would be when we are focusing more on correction than connection, when we are focusing more on how they make us look. Right? Those are the parents who really want little robots, and they have to do some deep searching to realize, is that what I want or is that not what I want?
Definitely. How does uninvolved parenting sometimes show up unintentionally in modern families?
The busyness.
The busyness.
We're just too busy, right? So, and I think you can justify that. I read this thing on social media recently, and it was, are you exhausted from parenting or are you exhausted from scrolling?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like what? No, really be honest with yourself. What did my day look like? Where did I divide my time? What did I do? I didn't have a smartphone when my children were little, thank God, because I think I would have made some horrible choices. But did I respond to that email before I answered my child? Because who's most important? Your child. Right. Your child is actually more important than that email, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that as an adult.
I also saw this thing on social media, and it was a parent. They were at a restaurant and they're like fighting for our lives, trying not to raise an iPad kid. And so they're walking them around the restaurant and trying to play with them at the table. And it's so much work. And that exhaustion is so much different than the mental exhaustion that we put ourselves through of being torn. I'm trying to do this on my phone and tolerate my child.
Yes.
Right. Those are two different exhaustions, but it does take work, but it's worth it.
Right. It's your calling. That's what you're supposed to do.
Permissive parenting is often framed as gentle or child-centered. What are the long-term risks when expectations and follow-through are too low?
The biggest long-term risk to permissive parenting is it's children who do not truly understand who they are. They don't understand that their behavior impacts other people. They're not necessarily your favorite adult to be around.
No.
Right? Yeah. They really kind of believe, no, this should go my way because it's gone their way their entire life. Yeah. And so they're just, life has not been enough of a struggle for them to learn everything they needed to learn.
Many parents alternate between parenting styles.
Oh, yes.
Depending on the stress or fear. How does the inconsistency impact children?
Okay. If we all do this. This is just reality, right? Yeah. We all kind of flip in and out of them. But the most terrifying thing for all of us is to be around an inconsistent person.
It's true. We talked about that terrifying.
Yesterday. Yes, it is so terrifying. So if I'm around someone that I know is going to respond with love and wisdom and kindness versus somebody who's just going to explode on me, I'm a much more safe and settled person.
Yeah.
So when we want to be authoritative parents, but we also want to be authoritative parents as much of the time as we can.
Right. How can parents begin to notice their own patterns when they become more authoritarian, permissive, disengaged?
When they, right, it's like you have to take the time to self-reflect, and not a lot of parents take that
do
time,
the work.
But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. So I do a lot of teaching parents to sit and go, what did I do well today? What did I really blow? And what did I need to do about it? Right. Mm-hmm. So for me as a mom, it was typically raising my voice, right? I stopped raising my voice when I realized I only raised my voice when I didn't ensure that my children did what I asked them to do. I only raised my voice when I repeated myself. Unless there was an emergency, that's a totally different kind of voice raising, right? But when we go out of our way to reflect on what we did well, what we wish we had done differently, that's how we build consistency in our own lives. Because we go, oh, no, I want to be intentional in following through on this thing.
Yeah, I feel like the emotional health in parents directly influences like the effectiveness of your parenting.
100%. Yes.
You have to do your work.
You have to do the work. And children, I mean, I believe what I'm about to say with all of my heart. When I became a parent, I thought that I was here for them. That's the opposite of reality.
Yep.
I think children are a gift from God to refine us, to shape us. And if we allow that teachability, they really make us more like Christ.
They do.
But if we're so focused on turning them into what we want them to be, we miss all of that refining process.
That's great. It's so true. To end and wrap it all up, what is one simple way parents can assess whether their parenting approach is helping their child develop skills and not just avoiding trouble?
Does your child do what you ask them to do?
Yep.
And what are you doing in response to that?
Okay.
Are you raising your voice, or are you going and supporting?
Okay.
And does your child ask permission, or are they just running around doing whatever the heck they want? And if they do those two things with high support from you, you're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job. And if they don't, spend some time thinking through how you can do a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have. Make sure you pick up your copy of Beyond Words. It's on Amazon. It's super affordable. We love it. Dr. Long is on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And so is Works of Wonder Therapy. We'll link all of those below. And
always be kind and honest, because it works wonders.
It does.